Hello, this is Sheena from Be Seen, and today we're with Fredrica Harker-Syren, who is the owner of greenmom.com. Fredrica has her own homestead here in San Diego, and I thought we would spend just a few minutes talking about what it's like to have your own live vegetable patch, grow your own vegetables, have your own chickens, and really live off the ground. Welcome, Fredrica.
Thank you.
So tell the audience, what is it like to have your own homestead? How did you develop this, and how do you maintain it on a daily basis?
Well, this actually came about because me and my husband, we discussed it for like 2 years and dreamed about having a homestead. We're going to grow our own food and provide our children with the best thing we can. And actually 8 months ago, we actually started this, and it took 2 months to build everything in this homestead. And we actually ripped out the back side of our garden, the front side, and the side of our house, and we moved in some chickens. And
five of them, right?
Yes, 5 of them. Actually, it was 4, and then one more joined the crew. And it was a lot of work, and I actually had some moments when I went, what have I done? But now I think it is the coolest thing in the world, because I literally have always a filled pantry. I'm never out of food. Even if I don't have pasta or rice or something like that, I always have something to eat in my house. And that's the best part.
So what about on a day-to-day basis? I mean, we've got so many fruits and vegetables here. It's like having a brand new, a whole new set of children, I would assume.
Yes.
So what's the day-to-day maintenance like?
Well, it all depends. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, depending on the weather. When we had all this really heavy rain here in San Diego, oh my God, it was so much work, because we had to go out and cover everything in plastic. Because, the plants can only take so much rain before they, float away. And also, our chickens are the most high maintenance, I would say, on this, because I love my chickens, but at 5:30, if you're not out there feeding them, they are cracking the whip, and they are screaming, and the neighbors don't tend to like that, or my kids either. So people ask me, do you have a rooster, because they sound like them, but they don't. Besides that, I mean, it's not very much. The chickens are very easygoing. You just feed them once a day, and then collect their eggs and clean the cage once a week. That's it. And they're kind of fun company, I would say, sometimes at least. And the vegetable garden, obviously we have, we had to grow food from, we're planting the seeds and growing plants from the seeds. So that's a little bit, you have to baby the seeds a little bit. But once you put the plants into the soil, like in the beds that we have here behind me, all you have to do is make sure you don't get bugs. And we had, last year we had the caterpillar butterfly come to visit. We had probably 1 million caterpillars, which, to our son's delight, this was really fun, because they get to pick all the caterpillars. But it was a lot of work. And I even kept telling my husband, I don't think that I could live like Laura Ingalls, because if you lost your crop, you literally have nothing to eat. At least I can go to the store and buy my thing. But sometimes I'm wondering, isn't it easier to just go buy the food instead of growing it? But you know what? I would never change anything about this.
Yeah. Fredrica, you're really passionate about living organically. First of all, where did that passion come from? And do you have maybe 3 or 4 tips to share with the audience about the importance of living organically and becoming more green?
Yeah, I think that actually I have always been more or less green, because I grew up with my mom being like that. But I think that once I became a mom about 10 years ago, it became much more important to protect my children from chemicals and all these harmful things. And the more I learned, the more it became a passion for me. So I would say my tips are the first thing, people always ask me, what is the first thing we would do if you want to go green? And it's recycle. Start to actually sort through your trash to reduce your amount of trash. I used to have my trash can used to be just jam-packed with trash once a week. These days, I actually have a jar that's this much, and that is my trash for the whole year.
Right.
And it's because we actually recycle everything. We go through, and if you can't recycle it, we tend to not bring it into the house. Mm-hmm. So that's the first one. And the second thing is to compost all the food scraps, so we don't throw any food away. That goes either to the chickens or to our compost with our worms, and that will provide beautiful nutrients that we can put in the garden. So again, it's a win-win situation. And then the third one will be actually get your kids involved. It's really, really important to get your kids involved, because they're the ones going to lead this world one day.
Yeah.
And the best survival skills you can ever teach your child is to go green, and to how to grow things.
And on that note, you have 3 gorgeous children. How do they participate in making this green garden and picking the vegetables and preparing the food?
They just love being part of the garden. They think it's really fun. Everything from actually planting the seeds, they think is really great. And, you can see them standing by the seeds and literally watching them grow. And of course, it takes a really long time, too long for them sometimes. But they love my daughter. Actually, since she was 3, she would hold the plants before we put them in the soil, and she would sing to them a little lullaby. And she always ended with, "Please grow." And I swear everything grew better. And they love also to, to harvest the vegetables. It's really fun for them. Like when the first potatoes came up, and we waited months for those potatoes to come up, and I even doubted that we're ever going to have potatoes. When my son saw the potatoes, he was like screaming and being so happy because he was so excited. And now, today we harvested almost all the potatoes in our garden, and my son was evidently saying that this was the most fun he ever had.
Yeah. And you live right in the heart of San Diego, so it's not like you live on a farm.
No.
So this type of living is completely conducive to anybody that lives in a highly metropolitan city.
Yeah. Well, my whole goal with the Green Mom, when I founded greenmom.com, was that I wanted to teach people that going green does not mean moving into like the forest or into a cave, turning off electricity. It actually just means that you have to take some few steps to go green. And it's completely possible to do this in an urban setting because I prove that I can do it.
Yes, right. So those first few steps, I mean, we have greenmom.com and you've got a lot of information on there. But if you had 3 steps that you can tell people that they can do today to start a homestead at their house, what would that be?
Well, just have a couple of pots and start growing something. Actually, potatoes grow really great in pots, and they're really easy to grow. So start with something like a vegetable that you eat. That's most important. I have grown vegetables that I don't necessarily like or eat, and that's a really big mistake. So pick a vegetable that you eat and start growing it in your garden. Like I said, it doesn't have to be as big as I do. Get a couple of chickens. You don't have to have 5 chickens. You can have 1, 2 chickens. Generally, they like company, so 2 chickens is the minimum you would do.
Doesn't anyone like company, right?
Exactly. So that's it, because then you get fresh eggs, and it's I can tell you how fun it is to eat your own eggs.
Yeah.
It's very special to go get your own eggs.
And they're different too. They've got a different color towards them. I mean, they look a bit green on the outside.
Yeah, it's all depending on what chicken you have. We have a very beautiful Americana, and she lays the most beautiful eggs. She's the most noisy chicken, but I forgive her because she lays the most beautiful eggs.
Yeah.
Really
she
fun.
rules the nest, doesn't she?
She does. She definitely does.
Oh, Fredrica, it's been wonderful being here at your home and on your homestead, and I'm just so impressed with everything that you've done. And it's not just you; it's the family. It's James. It's the kids as well. And I'm so impressed and so happy that you're using this as an example of how people can start to live sustainably and a nice vision for the future. So I look forward to seeing more of you and learning more about how to live this way. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
My long lost friend. We've known each other for 15 years now. We met in England, and
we didn't live so sustainable back then.
No, no, we didn't.
This is proven anyone, even party princesses like us, can become green moms.